Carl T. Jones, and our newest location in the Midtown District on McMurtry Drive opposite the Target Plaza. All locations feature the NFL Sunday Ticket, Tuesday half-price burgers, and Wednesday $1 jumbo wings all day long. You're never far from the End Zone Sports Bar.
Coming up this week on the High School Streaming Network.
Week 4 will feature a 7A Region 4 matchup over the airwaves as the undefeated Spartan Senators take on the Grissom Tigers over on Zone 2. It's back to region play after a bye week as Madison Academy travels to Danville. Zone 3 will feature Randolph taking on Westminster Christian. And our game of the week over at Joe Davis Stadium will feature the Bob Jones Patriots taking on the Huntsville Crimson Panthers.
Everything you need is just a click away.
I should put up sometimes, silly.
Okay, almost everything.
Come on, I'll tell you a fortune.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. 977 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome, Army sports fans, from sea to shining sea. This is Bill Crawdad Crawford, and this is Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff, your home for Army Black Knight football. And I'm joined in studio today by the human Ouija board, Steve Cripey. Steve, how are you doing?
With them or by them or next to them or...
Summers. You're in here Summers, as we say down south.
Summers, yeah.
And also we have Captain Barrett Crawford.
Special guest,
special analyst Barrett Crawford, straight from the Naval Postgraduate School in Monterey, California. How you doing, Barrett?
Doing good. Thanks for having me. Don't let the Naval Postgrad School take anything away that I am a die-hard Army fan.
We would not dare suspect anything.
He's in the enemy's camp, flying the Army banner.
Well, hey, hope you're watching us on YouTube tonight. We're here live, and we have got an outstanding show lined up for you tonight. At 7:15, we have the Army Athletic Director, Mike Buddy, who's going to join us for a segment. At 7:30, we have Army coach Mike Vitti, who is a legend of Army football. Now he's becoming a legend on the coaching staff. And then after that, we're going to do a little breakdown of the Orange of Syracuse. Not the Orange Men, the Orange.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Not the fruit either.
Not
right.
the fruit.
The Fighting Orange.
Well, hey, let's take a minute and gloat for a second about our great win last week.
You gloat? You mean bask in the afterglow? That is an Army win?
Yeah. That is a great Army win. In case you didn't know, we beat the University of Texas San Antonio 37-29 down in the Alamo Dome. And Steve, I thought it was a great win. I thought everything went our way that game.
Well, I don't know. Everything may be a slight hyperbole, but no, it was a good game, especially given when the point spread opened for that game. I think they were favored by 2 touchdowns. Their starting quarterback came up lame. That brought it down to about 8.5 points, but still over a touchdown underdogs. And to go in there in a hostile environment and come away with a win was just fantastic. And it's interesting that we are now 3-0 in the Alamo Dome against UTSA. And back in the day, that wasn't a big deal because as UTSA was getting their football program off the ground, there were as many Army fans as there were UTSA fans. But they're, from what I understand, they have a decided advantage. So to come in there, hostile environment, come away with a win, that's fantastic.
Well, I liked at the game that the Army offense is now in its full swing. It's showing very good promise. Everybody was very skeptical about the loss, to ULM, but after coming after that and then to Delaware State and then to beat UTSA on the road, it looked great. And there was no fumbles in the game either, which was even better.
Oh, yeah, no turnovers.
That's sweet. Well, I know last time I was talking about naught, and you said, what is naught? Naught is zeros, and we had some good zeros. We had no penalties. We had no turnovers. We had no failed fourth down conversions. I think we were 6 out of 6. And I know, just to flash back a little bit to the first game of the season, some people were going, Jeff Monken's lost it. He's never going to go for it on fourth down again. Well,
he went for it.
He went for it, and we're 10 for 10 on fourth down conversions.
Yeah, and I tell you, fortunately, they make up a very, very small minority among the Army faithful. But they're a very vocal minority that will, after a loss, they just go Chicken Little. The sky is falling, and fortunately we've had a couple good games, and they're quiet for now. But yeah, I mean, a lot of good stuff that happened there. You talked about the full repertoire of the offense, but the thing that excited me was just the play calling. The progression of play calling. I mean, there were a couple. When's the last time you saw Army throw a screen?
Oh yeah.
And it came, perfect time. Bryson Daly, just nailed it. A lot of good things that happened there, but I'm not sure I'd go great because there were some things there.
As an example, if I may interject,
please.
Some of the things.
Yes, please do, William.
Well, also one more good thing on offense. We've tried a lot of crazy halfback passes in the past. They ended in disaster. This one didn't.
This one worked. He had a cannon on him too.
Yeah, it was well, but it was a touch pass as well. I mean, he got it over the first line there, and yeah, that was well done.
But one of the things that a little cause for concern is our defense had some. They allowed some big plays, and pretty much kept them in check, but we better not allow big plays like that against the Orange of Syracuse.
Yeah, and I will tell you, even the previous two games, even though we were 1-1 coming into UTSA, the defense had been the story through the first two games. Even ULM played them tough, shut them down when they needed to, got their offense off the field when they needed to, and so. Yeah, we're 1-1, but we're feeling really good about the defense, hoping the offense will come along. Well, the offense has definitely come along, but there was, you look at the scoring strikes, 4 touchdowns, one of a 19-yard run, then there were a 44, a 46, and a 72-yard. So giving up the big plays, I mean, they playing lights out for most of the game, 4 lapses, and there's 28 points on the board.
And I think with that defense, if you can improve the tackling in the open field, not go to the feet, you can pretty much square away and shine up that defense going in the next game.
Yeah, no doubt.
Okay, folks, we're going to get out of here. We're going to come back. We'll be joined by Athletic Director Mike Buddy. Get to Nick's this weekend. Steve Johnson is on the keyboards, and on October the 11th, the Elvis impersonator, who is one of Nick's buddies, is going to be there. He is awesome. 256-489-8280. Go ahead and make your reservations, and we will be out of here and back in a couple of minutes. This is Crawdad, out.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
If you work in a dangerous or logistically intense industry, you know good training can be a challenge. There are training costs, safety concerns, and difficulty replicating real-world scenarios. There's a better way used right now in the Army and in all our armed services to better prepare our heroes, and it's available to you in your organizations. Higher Echelon's Game Development Team is revolutionizing learning in military training, dangerous industry, STEM, and sports performance domains with cutting-edge virtual training that immerses you in lifelike scenarios without the cost and safety concerns for trainees. With Higher Echelon's game-based training, you'll experience realistic simulations, precision accuracy, and unparalleled safety. Higher Echelon founder Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets and puts that experience to use. His team has been building cutting-edge virtual training environments for soldiers and clients for a decade. Higher Echelon, the name you can trust for advanced training solutions. Reach out at higherechelon.com to get your free consultation. Go Higher and go Army.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Hunting and tailgating season is on us, and at Woody Anderson Ford, we believe it's time you got serious about an F-150. We've got nearly 150 to choose from, and without a doubt, one of the best F-150 values on the road today. is our STX package. You get 290 hard-working horses, mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission that'll take you everywhere from that tree stand to downtown Tuscaloosa. Body-colored bumpers, halogen headlamps, 20-inch machined aluminum wheels, and lots of tech too, like a rear-view camera with dynamic hitch assist, which you boaters and RVers will love. A 2023 Woody Anderson Ford F-150 STX packs a punch, but doesn't cost a bunch. You can drive one for $499 a month. $499. 36-month lease with $52.10 due at signing. No security deposit plus tax, tag, and title. Includes $399 dealer fee with your good credit. Offer ends September 30th. Call 539-9441 for complete details. Woody Anderson Ford. Hope to see you soon.
Gunner's Landing is one of the Tennessee Valley's finest golf experiences. Just 35 minutes from downtown Huntsville, Gunner's Landing's 18-hole championship jewel is open to the public 7 days a week. Located in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains, Gunner's Landing offers you a golf experience like no other. With beautiful Lake Gunnersville views throughout the round, Gunner's Landing is golf the way nature intended. Gunner's Landing's club repair shop offers a full range of services, including re-gripping and adjusting the lofts and lies of your clubs, even putters. Since the work is done in-house, your clubs will be returned to you in a timely manner. Unmatched in the North Alabama area, it is Gunner's Landing. Schedule your tee time today at gunnerslanding.com. That's gunnerslanding.com.
The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Listen weekday afternoons starting at 5 on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It's perfect!
Welcome back, everybody. This is Crawdad with Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff, our second segment. And without any further ado, we are so pleased to be joined by a very special guest tonight, and that is the man with the plan at the United States Military Academy, Athletic Director Mike Buddy. Mike, welcome aboard. How you doing tonight?
Oh.
Mike, I think we had a little technical problem. Are you with us?
I'm here now. I can hear you. Can you hear me okay, guys?
Oh, yeah. Well, hey,
sorry about that.
Sorry about that. That's our bad. No problem. Thanks for taking a moment to join us. We were just welcoming the man with the plan at the United States Military Academy, our great athletic director, and that is you, Mike Buddy. And, Mike, let me turn it over to my co-host, Steve, for our first question.
Mike, great to talk to you. If you were to talk to most Army fans about what the best news coming out of the Military Academy over the past week, it'd either be the win down in San Antonio or Coach Monken signing a contract extension. And I want to just quote your the comment you made in the press release. No coach in college football epitomizes the essence of their institution better than Jeff Monken. His commitment to developing young men in every facet of their lives is genuine and effective. So for those of us who don't have the privilege of interacting with him on a regular basis, unpack those quotes and what was behind those.
Well, yeah, I'm happy to do that. And, 4 years working closely with Coach Monken has really afforded me a front row seat. This is my second institution as an athletic director, my third institution overall. I've worked with a lot of football coaches. And to be honest with you, a lot of people think that Coach Monken actually went to West Point just because his personal ethos and values are so aligned with folks like yourselves that attended the academy. So his commitment to detail, his commitment to fitness and grit and toughness, and just that never say die mentality is the exact kind of traits that we want every cadet who graduates and commissions to have. And Coach Monken just has them in the most genuine, authentic way. And so you couple that with the fact that he knows a thing or two about football, has really kind of figured out a way to get academies competitive in the best way, and several 10 to 11 win seasons have proven that he also knows what he's doing on top of being just a great fit. So really excited to have him committed as ever and back to the drawing board and keeping the trajectory of the program moving forward.
Excellent.
Well, I think I can speak for a whole lot of grads who can say thank you very much, and we're glad he's there. And now in the off season, we won't have to worry about that anymore. But we know your job entails a little bit more than football. In fact, it entails a whole heck of a lot more than football. And we notice where some of our other great coaches got extensions also. Can you elaborate a bit on that?
Yeah, and thanks for bringing that up. We especially this time of year, it's easy to get caught up in the spirit and excitement of college football. But yeah, we've got 24 head coaches at Army West Point. And when I got here 4 years ago, I had a long conversation with Booth Corrigan, and Booth really helped me by just kind of explaining, if you find a coach who's willing to put in the work, who cares about young people, who wants to develop them as leaders of character, you got to fight to do everything you can to keep them. There's always going to be schools who can pay more, but a lot of times the cadets do the dirty work for me. They make this such a great place and such a difficult place to leave that if we can just find a way to be competitive financially, every head coach gets a house to live in here at West Point, which is unique and certainly a great perk of the job. And so we announced 5 of them the other day. We're working on a couple more, but we've just got a great group of competitive, competent coaches who love working with the cadets at West Point. And so the more continuity we can have, keep them here, it's only going to serve the programs extremely well.
And I know one of those coaches, Mark West. We've got one of his former players here in the studio tonight, my son, Barrett Crawford.
Hey, Mr. Mike, it's great to be able to talk to you. We've seen a lot of great things you've been doing with the department. And yes, having Coach West's contract extended, he's a great coach. He's very tough. He'll know how to run a tight ship over there. But it's just great.
So another common topic out there among the fan base, a lot of rumors, discussions about potential conference affiliation for the football program. Needless to say, there's been seismic changes in the landscape of college football and conference alignment. As you sort of weigh, potential pros and cons, what are some things that you guys are thinking about as you weigh the options before you?
Well, to be honest with you, every off season since I've been here, we me and a couple board members and a couple trusted agents have always talked about, hey, are we in the right place? Does this make sense? And unanimously, candidly, every year we have said, hey, what we're doing is working. We are flattered and fortunate to be in the position to be an independent who's able to actually find 12 games. And I'd be lying if I was saying that things haven't changed a little bit. And by no means are we ready to join a conference. But there's just a myriad of factors that have all come into play that weren't there in 2019 and 2020 when I had my first 2 seasons. And those really are the transfer portal, which has really impacted some of the teams that we have scheduled. UConn did a great job getting kids out of the portal last year and went from, I think, 1 win to 7 wins in a bowl game. We just saw Louisiana Monroe, who had gotten considerably better by getting some really talented young kids out of the portal. So that's changed the way that other schools operate, which obviously doesn't apply to us, but it certainly impacts us, as does the name, image, and likeness payments. That's another avenue where a lot of these teams on our schedules are able to reload and improve pretty quickly. And then the third real factor is the college football playoff. When it expands to 12 teams, Coach Munkin and Mike Buddy and General Gilland, we don't do this just to kind of get an honorable mention participation trophy. And so when you look back, to 2 of the last 5 years with Coach Munkin, when you're winning 11 games as an independent, we would have to be ranked in the top 12 of the country to have access to the college football playoff. And with our schedule, it's really tough to get into the top 12. But if we're conference champions in a conference like the American or the Sun Belt or the SEC for that matter, there's a much better chance of getting that access. And to be frank with you guys, our kids love playing for the Commander-in-Chief Trophy. That's always going to be the first and foremost goal on all of our charts. And then getting to a bowl game is always special. But if we have an opportunity and it makes sense, and we can also add a competing for a conference championship on top of that. It's icing on the cake. And then finally, the last factor, and I know Conference USA was not a great experiment for Army football.
Yeah, agreed.
The changes to the rules that the NCAA has made in the past 2 to 3 years has really rendered our offense impossible to operate the way historically and we would like to, and we have. And that was part of the switch to a new offensive coordinator, because we just can't chop block, and we can't get to the edge against some of these monsters on the defensive end who are rushing. So we're going to a more it's still certainly option principles, but it's a more traditional offense. And so one of the reasons we loved our independence was we could schedule one team in 2016 and play them again in 2020, and they weren't going to spend a month in the off season learning how to prepare to stop us, because time is just too important. They don't need that month anymore because the offense is a more traditional style. So all of those factors are going into the conversations that we're having right now. I think we're in a phenomenal position. We're still a really good football team and very competitive. And B, our worst case scenario is we continue to do what we've always done, retain our independence, control our scheduling, and just go from there. So it's great to be considered. It's great to be attractive to other options. I promise you this, we're not going to join the Pac-12.
Well, it'd be what? The
It'd be
Pac
about
3
Pac
now.
4.
Well, Mike, I have another question. I know this is on the mind of a lot of alumni. I don't know how much you can elaborate on it, but what's the status of the expansion of Michie Stadium right now?
Yeah, so we basically hit pause on our Sony Walkman. We had phenomenal fundraising success early, and we hit the number that we thought we had to get to, which was $125 million. Unfortunately, with all of the external factors and inflation and materials and labor costs, we found out that the $125 million, by the time we got to 100% design and drawings, and it was closer to $180 million. And so we just didn't have that much money on hand. We don't ever want to put the department or the academy at risk. This is 100% donor funded. And so we just want to be really good stewards and not rush into something hoping that we would have the rest of the money available. We want to make sure we've got it. So we just hit pause. We didn't break ground this summer. We're still hitting the ground running. Mark Beeger, the new president and CEO of AOG, is full steam ahead, really helping us with this project, as is Tom Theodorakis on my staff. And we're going to try to get this money all in so that come Christmas time, we'll knock Michie Stadium East stands over and get this project done.
That's good to hear. I'm glad that's still moving forward, because I think that's just going to be a great addition. Although I will say it's a topic that is sort of a hot one out there, with people taking different sides. But I think it'll be a great enhancement to the overall facility. So as you look at the landscape, across the athletic program, what other kind of changes do you see coming maybe in the next few years?
Well, first and foremost, we got crushed by a summer thunder shower. Badly. Mm-hmm. And we're still digging out of that. Our national championship rugby program, their facility was hit pretty hard down there on the banks of the Hudson. And so first and foremost, we're making sure that every building, house, facility, weight room that was affected by some rising waters, we got to make sure there's not mold. And all those kind of things. So that's really kind of like the near target. And then as we look down the future, we just turfed our baseball stadium and made a huge difference in another Patriot League championship by Coach Traz and his staff. We want to do the same thing for softball as soon as we can. Just those outdoor sports playing on grass, you can't put a snowplow on grass. So that would be the next one in the queue for us, probably.
Hey, Mike, we really appreciate your time. I'm going to let you go, but I got to ask you one question. When the Brewers play the Yankees, who do you root for?
Well, I'll tell you what. The Brewers might be a better team than the Yankees are right now. So I keep it neutral. and just try to enjoy a good baseball game.
That was a very safe answer.
Very politically correct answer. All right, well, hey, thank you so much, and we'll say go beat the Orange and beat them all and beat Navy. Athletic Director Mike
Navy,
Buddy,
guys.
thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do, guys.
Okay, we're going to get out of here for a break, and then we'll come back, and we'll be joined by Coach Mike Vitti back in about 3 minutes. That went well.
Yeah.
If you work in a dangerous or logistically intense industry, you know good training can be a challenge. There are training costs, safety concerns, and difficulty replicating real-world scenarios. There's a better way used right now in the Army and in all our armed services to better prepare our heroes, and it's available to you in your organizations. Higher Echelon's Game Development Team is revolutionizing learning in military training, dangerous industry, STEM, and sports performance domains with cutting-edge virtual training that immerses you in lifelike scenarios without the cost and safety concerns for trainees. With Higher Echelon's game-based training, you'll experience realistic simulations, precision accuracy, and unparalleled safety. Higher Echelon founder Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets and puts that experience to use. His team has been building cutting-edge virtual training environments for soldiers and clients for a decade. Higher Echelon, the name you can trust for advanced training solutions. Reach out at higherechelon.com to get your free consultation. Go Higher and go Army.
Sitting here with Mark Kent of Southern Fidelity Mortgage Group of Huntsville. Mark, do you help pre-qualify people?
We pre-qualify people all the time, Wes. As a matter of fact, I love having them coming in here because when they come in and they pre-qualify, they can leave my office knowing exactly how much they can buy and have no worries.
Mark, tell me about your rates and pricing.
Well, Wes, this is something we're really, really proud of. Long story short is I love being able to provide the best pricing in town. Honestly, I cannot tell you the last time I lost a deal to either rate or pricing, something I'm very proud of.
So what all financing options do you have, Mark?
We do several different things. If you're purchasing a home, we can handle the purchase. If you're wanting to refinance your home, of course, rates are at the lowest they've been in the last 3 years. We do a lot of refinancing. If you're building a home, we can handle the entire process from breaking ground to the final close.
Do you sleep with your phone?
Wes, if you want to reach me, you can call me at my office phone, which is 256-562-1000. But always remember, I sleep with my cell phone at night. That number is 256-656-5936.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff with me, Bill Crawford Crawdad, Steve Cripey, the Human Ouija Board, and Captain Barrett Crawford, all joining you tonight to have a little fun talking about Army football. And guess who else is joining us right now? This gentleman is not only a legend of Army football, but he's also, every time we've ever asked him to participate on our show, he has, and he is the assistant head coach for offense and the offensive line coach, and that is Coach Mike Vitti. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
Gentlemen, great to hear from you guys. Thanks for having me. I'm doing well. How about you guys?
Great.
Doing great, Coach.
Couldn't be doing better. And speaking of couldn't be doing better, how about the performance of the Army offensive line last week at UTSA? Seemed like we opened up a lot of holes and protected the quarterback pretty good.
Yeah, I thought, overall was pleased with just execution, fundamentals, physicality, toughness, playing together, 5 like 1, and just understanding the different scenarios as they arose throughout the game. Played really intelligent football for 60 minutes and did what we were asked to do, and I was proud of the effort.
Fantastic. So for you, your background steeped as a fullback, both as a player and a coach, have recently made the transition as assistant head coach, and also taken the offensive line. How has that transition gone for you personally, and what are those steps you've had to take to expand your repertoire to take on the offensive line?
Yeah, so from a professional standpoint, in this day and age with football and being my background just so heavily involved in run game, running, all the way back to pro style offense, West Coast offense, and coming here and understanding and learning the ins and outs of the triple, how to attack different defenses, blocking schemes, and really what we did a lot towards the latter part of the triple era under center was some conventional run game and being intimately involved with that, with the running back position, but helping with the game planning, in-game adjustments. You just start to really expand as a football coach. And I've always had an affinity with the guys up front, just the strategy and the chess match that goes into football, and then just the physicality. Realistically, as a fullback, you're an extension of that offensive line and understanding the fits, and you bring a different perspective to those guys. So professionally, I've loved the transition. It's not too far removed from just personality and where I kind of always sunk my teeth as a player, and then certainly as a young coach and now a veteran coach on this staff. It's been fantastic.
Well, Coach, this is Barrett Crawford, the little Crawdad speaking. When you're looking at the Syracuse defense, and from watching their game film from Purdue, they have a very stout defensive line who's able to penetrate. With this offensive line and the shuffling that's been going around, where do you think the offensive line for this game matches up with that Syracuse defense?
For us, it's first of all understanding the coordinator, understanding his scheme, his philosophy. I've competed against this coordinator back in 2017 when he was at San Diego State, so very familiar with his philosophy, how he structures his front, and the chaos they manufacture by, different alignments. I believe back in the 17 game, we had 11 different alignments or fronts that we counted in the first half, and studied him pretty in depth through the off season, and then how he's brought it to Syracuse with the athletes he has. So for us, I feel with who we are, with where we've competed for years now, we worry about ourselves. We understand philosophically, structurally, what we're facing. We know the personnel, but for us, it's about our guys having a nameless, faceless opponent. That's no disrespect to Syracuse, but we look at it as with us, and we're still trying to be the best versions of ourselves, and having multiple starting lineups in a relatively new scheme for our guys. Football's not new. We've got a lot of guys who played a lot of football up front for us, but things we're asking them to recognize and do at the line of scrimmage, and some schemes are a little bit different. I think it just comes down to us. It comes down to us and each guy's moment in their 4 seconds of football, snap in and snap out. I like where we're at. I like our headspace right now. I like how we responded from week one. Great offensive lines get better as the season goes, and this is a great challenge for us, and I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, Coach, a question. As you now have the role of assistant head coach for offense, what does that actually translate to on the field during the game?
Sure. So it's working with Coach Monk, and Coach Monken obviously has strategic oversight of the entire team in all three phases. For us, it's more about in-game management, understanding the scenario, in-game adjustments, obviously when the defense is out there, making sure we're all on the same page from what we saw as a collective offensive staff throughout the duration of a drive. Each guy's got a little different sector, different assignments throughout it for things that we have going into the game plan, and making sure everybody's on the same page, and then being a single voice for the guys on the sideline on the offensive side. We really are a collaborative effort between all the offensive coaches going into the game, and we all see it in different ways throughout the game, but just making sure that we're carrying a sound message to the players, and then bringing that up to Coach Monken. So we're seeing the game 1/3. Coach Monk is seeing all phases, and we're trying to picture that, paint that picture for Coach Monken together as an entire staff, so then we can make effective strategic, operational, tactical decisions throughout the duration of the game, meaning we know where, we want to go on a long, sustained drive, even though we may feel like we have a really good opportunity to take a shot. That it may be better that we bleed the clock here, or, hey, now's the time to respond with something. Just throughout the game, it's different. There's different problem sets we're trying to solve, and it's just communication. I mean, it's communication, it's experience, and that's really the role in game for me in that role.
That's outstanding to hear. You talk about the teamwork on the field, but it's clear as you just lay all that out, the teamwork that happens between the press box and the sideline, and that's fantastic to hear. Coming into this season with the transition to a new offense, Coach Thatcher coming in, a lot of people expressed concern, boy, we're going to lose our status as one of the top rushing teams in the country. Well, we've got to learn to pass block and all those kind of things. But looking right now, we're number 9 in the country in rushing, almost 234 yards or 236 yards a game, and we're number 16 in team passing efficiency. Tell me about the offensive line's contribution to that and their maturation to the new system.
Well, I think it just goes to the core of what this program is always going to be, and that's a reflection on our institution. So it's disciplined football. It's tough guys who play together, who quite frankly play a brand of ball that most teams don't have the patience or the camaraderie to play in this day and age. And I look at that as the DNA of Army football at West Point is always going to be run the football. So regardless of how we're accomplishing that, that is still going to be part of the DNA. I don't care, whether you're doing it here or name the university, you've got to have a physical presence about you, and physical football is well received here. It's well received at our institution, our fan base. So that's where it starts. It's discipline. Really proud of the no penalties, the no turnovers, minimizing negative yardage plays. So our guys understand that goes into winning football. It may not be the football that your casual Saturday afternoon fan wants to see, but I think our fan base, our kids, our institution appreciates winning, and they understand the process. So I think that's where it starts. The similarities, I should say, with how we go about that. I think the aesthetics in the wrapping paper probably just looks a little bit different, but internally, just the gears and the mechanisms on how we go about that look the way they do. And then the passing game, I think our guys look at that as, you got to defend 53 1/3 yards with, and then all 100 yards of the football field. We aren't, if you probably did your shooting chart in years past from where the ball distribution is, it's different. And what that allows us to do is put stress on all 11 players on defense. So there's 11 guys who have to make independent decisions simultaneously, as opposed to when you kind of place triple option or center defense, guys are really working more as a complete unit. So just finding those vulnerabilities, and I think our guys understanding the game plan and distribution of the ball, where the passing game leads into the running game. But it always starts with that core DNA that I discussed starting off.
Well, Coach, I think it was very evident during the game against UTSA, because the offense looked like it was communicating as one whole unit, just getting the ball down the field, controlling the clock. With a big win against a good opponent like UTSA, what are you saying to the players before this game against Syracuse to not get them hyped, but to get their head at a level playing field to get ready for the next opponent?
Replicate the work, understanding what Sundays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, walkthroughs, Fridays all need to look like. The hardest thing about this game we love and enjoy and play is the chaos that consistently exists, and those who control the chaos, both theirs and their opponents, are the ones who generally have sustained success in games and throughout a season. So that's the message. It's control our chaos and understand our chaos, and then match it on Saturday. Match the chaos that your opponents are going to, organically and artificially manufacture, and then win and understand those winning moments. That's what we're trying to get to, and thrive in those chaotic winning moments. So you do that today. We just got off the field not too long ago, but we do that not on Saturdays at noon. It's Tuesdays at 6.
Hey, Coach, quick question for you, and we appreciate your time. We're going to let you go in a minute, but the old rock and roll song, "The Future's So Bright, I Gotta Wear Shades," seems like Mike Vidy's future is bright. And do you see that future as being at Army for a long, long time?
This is my, this is the place that's raised me. This is my pedigree. I love this place with every part of my soul and who I am as a person. Professional. I wouldn't do this sport at any other school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, hey, guess what?
We love you, Coach. I mean, it's great.
Yeah, I told you, not only your leadership, your coaching, you're clearly a student of the game, but I don't think there's a better ambassador for not only the academy, but the type of character that the academy is all about. So, Coach, it's great to see you on the sideline, and the fact that you're shaping these young men to be those future leaders in our country.
Well, I appreciate those compliments. Thank you.
All right, Coach. Well, hey, thank you for your time. Let's go beat the Orange, and I think we can, by gosh. So
thanks, Coach.
Thanks. We'll let you go. Go Army.
All the best, guys. Beat Syracuse, beat Navy.
Hoorah.
Hoorah. All right, folks, we'll be back in just a minute to finish up the show. And remember, North Alabama Mortgage, Brian Hamaker and his team at NorthAlabamaMortgage.com. Solve all your mortgage needs. Don't worry about the high interest rates. They can still take care of you and make your mortgage the best they can, and they have a real good team there. So, Crawdad, we're out. Back in a few.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com.
Buongiorno, Tom Chapman from Nick's Ristorante here with Chef Joey Kindred. Say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
Seriously? So what's so great about being chef at Nick's?
Serving award-winning 21-day aged certified Angus beef, fresh seafood, and third-generation Italian family recipes.
That and an awesome owner, right?
So, if I say yes, do I get a raise?
No. What else should people know about Nick?
We showcase local musicians and have a cigar-friendly bar and bistro.
Time to put you on the spot, Chef. What's the phone number?
256-489-8280.
What's the website?
NicksRestaurante.com.
And what are the hours?
Doors open at 5 o'clock, Tuesday through Saturday. Dining room closes at 9. Bar closes depending on volume.
Molto bene, Chef. It's time to say goodbye, Joey.
Goodbye, Joey.
Come on, man.
Okay, how's this? Ciao e buon appetito.
Nice. Horrible accent, but nice. So again, please come see us at Nick's. Can't wait to see you there.
Nick's is for patrons 19 or older.
Work injuries happen in Alabama all the time, whether it's an accident at work, getting injured, lifting heavy objects, hurting your hands on a machine, or just performing the same movement over and over until your body breaks down. But when it happens, there's only one law firm to call in Alabama. That's Pond, Lehocky, Giordano. For personalized legal support, reach out to Pond Lehocky at 855-774-3838 or pondlehocky.com.
The representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers. Football season and Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. The perfect combination of good times and great food. This season, score big with one of our chef-inspired expressions of pure burger amazingness. Our delicious burgers are made with premium Angus beef, and you can pair it with one of our signature cocktails or a cold craft beer from our huge selection. Bad Daddy's Burger Bar on the Parkway in Huntsville and our new location at Cliff Farm, Highway 72 in Madison.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead ran away and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey, Wes. Our company, Fleming Roofing and Restoration, specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your Your shingles, we can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10-plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
Listen to the Bama Recap Show each Sunday morning at 11, presented by Freedom Marine Center on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back, everybody, to the final segment of Crawdad's Countdown to Kickoff. One more sponsor we want to remind you of is Joe Ross and Higher Echelon. They figure things out. They solve problems. They can consult with your business, and they can make your business better. And
smart guys doing hard stuff.
Yeah, they're smart guys doing hard stuff. Joe's been on the show many times. He played at West Point. He coached at West Point. He worked at the Center of Excellence up there, and he's got a company that can help you out. Call him up, higherechelon.com. Now we got to get on to the task at hand, and that is a game Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Central Time. By the way, you can listen to it right here on Zone 2, and that is our game versus the Syracuse Orange. And this is going to be the toughest test of the season. What do you think, Steve?
Well, to date. It's
Yeah.
certainly not the toughest all season. We got a couple other ones that are a little tougher. Yeah, this is a tough team on both sides of the ball. The guy that really concerns me is Garrett Schrader, the quarterback. He's a big old boy, 6'4", 225, and he's the stereotypical dual threat quarterback. Very savvy, running with the ball. Matter of fact, he's got over 700 yards rushing, and I think he's bumping up against already 1,000 yards of total offense. He's just about 7 yards short of that. So very capable, and defensively, as Coach Vitti said, it's a defense that constantly mixing things up, keeping the offense off balance, keeping them guessing. So a very formidable task facing the Black Knights this Saturday.
And you know the one thing, and Johnny Brooks, our favorite blogger, mentions this all the time, is the thing that gives Army fits is a running quarterback, especially when they're running on a broken play or a pass coverage gone awry or whatever, and they just get loose. And I think you're right, Steve. That is really what's worrying me about this weekend. What about you, Barrett?
Well, one of the big things about Syracuse's offense last game when they played the Boilermakers is that their wide receivers was a new batch of not a relatively new batch of wide receivers, but kind of a new looking at them, and they couldn't get separation from the defensive backs. And I think Army's defensive back core that they have now and that they've had for, from all the guys who have gone through there, is a good bunch of defensive backs.
Yeah,
and if they can cover those wide receivers, then you just got to focus on the running back getting out of the pocket and running around.
Yeah, I think we've got probably the best secondary that we've probably had at least in a decade, maybe much longer. We've got some really talented people, borderline shutdown kind of offense. But my concern, looking at the UTS game, great things across the board to say. But again, you look at the 4 scoring strikes by the Roadrunners, 19-yard, 44, 46, 72, in one play kind of thing, that there were just those brief lapses that really shows you we don't have a whole lot of margin. If we can stop those big plays and play the way the defense played on the rest of those plays, I like our chances. Mm-hmm. But that's a tall order.
And the other thing that we have to do, which we seem to have gotten, pun intended, the handle on this, is stopping the turnovers. No turnovers last week. I think maybe one the week before. When we have turnovers and give up big plays, we got big problems. But I think you're right, Steve. Those big plays, they didn't hurt us against the Roadrunners, but they might hurt us against a team like Syracuse.
Yeah. And I think, too, the offense moved it down the field. They had time of possession for the majority of the game, but their ability to capitalize when they get into the enemy territory.
Red zone performance, yeah.
We did good with getting those field goals, and we got quiet. We stayed on top of the lead by getting a field goal after field goal, but we need to capitalize and get more touchdowns. And I think if the offense can move that ball down the field against Syracuse and capitalize every possession, then I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, we need to come away with 7 on every possession. We can't give that up. And you talk about turnovers. We need to continue that trend, and not just not having turnovers. We need to come out on the plus side on those turnover margins, and that's one of the strengths of Syracuse. They're one of the top key teams over what they're plus 1.3 kind of thing on the turnover margin, so they get more than they give up, and especially Schrader, he's not one to turn it over. I think he's got a couple interceptions this year, 0 fumbles, a very capable quarterback. So again, it's just you look at the basics. Time of possession, no turnovers, no penalties, don't give up the big plays. We do those 4 things. We're in the game come the fourth quarter.
Recipe for success.
I would add number 5 to that is good tackling. We've got to tackle. We got to lock up, and I think we might be okay. All time Syracuse and Army have played each other quite a bit. The all-time series record is 11-10, with Syracuse being 1 up. It'd be nice if we tied that up this weekend, and I think I don't know. We'll get into our predictions in a minute, but it's going to be a good game. It's an 11 a.m. game, and in my humble opinion, and only my humble opinion, this is for the college football championship of the state of New York.
Oh yes, no doubt, no doubt. And I will tell you, I mean, everybody's talking about they've been racking up the points. I forget what they are in terms of scoring offense, but they're one of the top in the country. Yeah, they average almost 50 points a game. Wow. But at the same time, their strength of schedule right now, their average strength of schedule, and I averaged a couple different ones, is ranked 144th. To put that in perspective, there are 133 FBS teams. Ergo, there are FCS teams with tougher schedules than Syracuse has faced. Again, that's not saying they're a bad club, but you got to put things in perspective. Mm-hmm. That's 50 points a game against a very weak schedule. And as I've done sort of the comparison, I don't see Syracuse as a two touchdown favorite. They may be a touchdown, but I think it's going to be. I think this game is going to come down to a touchdown.
Well, anybody who can lay a little Latin on us just in the course of normal conversation, ergo, that's pretty good. You want me to conjugate the verb soon?
Yeah, would you please?
I can lay a little Latin, but no, ergo, I think we'll go to Barrett now. What do you?
Well, and I think with the strength of schedule with Army and Syracuse has been a team that hasn't been in the spotlight for the last few something years. They're rebuilding a program, but they have also not an unstable batch of people, but they have a football team that's still developing. And I think that Army's the perfect team to tell them, hey, you still got some work to do because we're about to come in and wreck your day.
Well, folks, we got a couple of minutes left to go, and as I think Yogi Berra said, I hate to make predictions because they might come true, but we gotta give our take on the game. And Steve, we will start with you.
Okay, start with me. Yeah. Let me
put you right on the spot.
I tell you what, this is one of those. Do I predict with my head or my heart? My heart is always with Army, but I think as I look at sort of the talent differential. I see Syracuse likely coming away with a W. I think it's going to be 28-24. I think it's going to be a much tighter game because I think even though some of the things that Coach Vitti pointed to, that there is a brotherhood, there is cohesion, there is camaraderie to a degree that outside the service academies, it's a foreign concept. And we've come a long way. I think we're going to see that next step in the process of the offense, hopefully fewer big plays by the defense. But I think Army's going to come up just short.
I think my turn, right?
Yes, it's your turn.
I think it's going to come down to who has the ball at the last time of possession. And I think the offenses for both teams are going to go down and continue to score and score and score. But I think Army's going to come away with the last-minute field goal and win it by just 3 points after it.
So okay. What's your score there, Holmes?
I think it's going to be 21-24, Army.
Okay.
Okay, I'm saying, it's going to be a loss. 34-24, Syracuse is going to win. Barrett, how many days?
Sir, there are 80 and a butt days until Army beats the hell out of Navy at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts.
Hoorah.
How about that? Well, folks, as we get out of here, we always like to say, remember, no matter where you are and no matter what you're doing, there is a soldier standing a watch somewhere right now so you can enjoy the kind of life we have in this great country of ours. Go Army.
Beat it.
Be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Buongiorno. Tom Chapman from Nick's Ristorante here with Chef Joey Kindred. Say hi, Joey.
Hi, Joey.
Seriously? What's so great about being chef at Nick's?
Serving award-winning 21-day age certified Angus beef,